Imagine standing in a jungle so ancient, so untouched, that every step could lead to a creature no human has ever documented before. Hidden beneath layers of mist and towering emerald trees, deep within the heart of Sri Lanka lies a forgotten wilderness that has guarded its secrets for thousands of years. Here, in the silence between the sounds of rain and distant animal calls, scientists have uncovered something extraordinary. More than 40 species completely unknown to science. In an age where satellites can map nearly every corner of the Earth, how can such mysteries still exist? The answer lies within one of the planet's most remarkable and unexplored rainforests, a land of secrets. Sri Lanka is often known for its beautiful beaches, ancient temples, and rich cultural history. Yet beyond the tourist trails and crowded cities exists another world entirely. A world covered by dense tropical forests where sunlight struggles to reach the ground. These jungles are living time capsules, preserving ecosystems that have survived for millions of years. The deeper researchers traveled into these forests, the more they realized they were entering a place where nature still writes its own rules, untouched by much of modern civilization. The forgotten wilderness. The forests of Sri Lanka are among the oldest surviving rainforest ecosystems in Asia. Some areas have remained isolated for such immense periods of time that animals and plants evolved independently from the rest of the world. Rivers cut through steep valleys, mountain peaks disappear into clouds, and thick vegetation forms nearly impenetrable walls. Many regions remained unexplored simply because reaching them was incredibly difficult. These natural barriers became guardians of countless secrets hidden
into the unknown. The expeditions were far from easy. Researchers spent weeks navigating difficult terrain under intense tropical conditions. Heavy rainfall transformed trails into rivers of mud. Leeches covered boots and clothing. Thick vegetation blocked visibility in every direction. Yet despite these hardships, the scientists pressed forward. Every sound in the darkness, every movement among the leaves, carried the possibility of another discovery. It felt less like scientific research and more like stepping into a lost world hidden beyond time itself. Part 6. 40 new species. As evidence accumulated, the numbers became impossible to ignore. More than 40 previously unknown species were identified within these forests. Some were tiny amphibians living only within specific elevations. Others were rare reptiles perfectly adapted to their hidden environments. Several species existed in habitats no larger than a few square kilometers. Their survival depended entirely on the delicate balance of the forest around them. The discoveries demonstrated how much biodiversity could remain invisible even in the 21st century. Part 7. Nature's Living Laboratory. For millions of years, Sri Lanka's isolation helped create one of Earth's most unique biological laboratories. While continents shifted and climates changed, many species evolved along separate paths. This process produced extraordinary forms of life found nowhere else on the planet. Scientists call this endemism. In Sri Lanka, the level of endemism a race against time. But alongside excitement came concern. Many of these species were found in fragile habitats already threatened by deforestation, climate change, and human development. Scientists realized that some newly discovered creatures could disappear before the world even learns their names. The forests protecting them continue to shrink in certain regions. Every tree removed, every habitat disturbed, increases the risk that unique forms of life could vanish forever. The discoveries became both a celebration and a warning. The mystery continues. Perhaps the most astonishing realization was this: if 40 unknown species could remain hidden for so long, how many more are still waiting to be discovered? Deep beneath Sri Lanka's emerald canopy, countless corners remain unexplored. The jungle continues to guard its secrets behind walls of mist, darkness, and dense vegetation. Each expedition uncovers new questions rather than answers. And somewhere in the shadows of this ancient wilderness, another undiscovered species may be watching silently, waiting for the moment when humanity finally finds it. The kingdom beneath the canopy.
To the untrained eye, Sri Lanka's rainforest may seem like a chaotic wilderness, but beneath the dense canopy exists a perfectly balanced kingdom. Every tree, every stream, every patch of moss plays a role in sustaining life. Tiny insects recycle nutrients, amphibians control insect populations, predators maintain ecological balance. Scientists discovered that many newly identified species occupy highly specialized positions within this complex web. Remove one element, and the consequences can ripple throughout the entire ecosystem. This hidden kingdom has been functioning for millions of years, silently maintaining one of nature's greatest masterpieces. Creatures that defied science. Among the most fascinating discoveries were animals that challenged existing scientific assumptions. Certain reptiles displayed physical characteristics unlike their closest known relatives. Some amphibians possessed unique adaptations that allowed them to survive in extremely specific environments.
Voices of the forest. As darkness falls over the rainforest, the jungle transforms. The air fills with an orchestra of sounds, chirping insects, croaking frogs, rustling leaves, and distant calls echoing through the trees. To scientists, these sounds are more than background noise. They are clues. Many species reveal their presence only through their calls. During nighttime surveys, researchers carefully recorded these sounds, often identifying entirely new species based on vocal patterns alone. In the darkness, the forest speaks its own language, and every call tells a story waiting to be understood. Islands within an island. One reason Sri Lanka produces so many unique species is its extraordinary geography. Mountain ranges, rivers, valleys, and isolated cloud forests act like natural barriers. Over thousands and millions of years, animal populations became separated from one another. Unable to interact, they evolved independently. Scientists often describe these habitats as islands within an island. Each isolated forest became its own evolutionary laboratory, producing species found nowhere else on Earth. This process transformed Sri Lanka into one of the world's most important biodiversity hotspots. The ancient survivors. Some of the newly discovered species may represent ancient evolutionary lineages that have survived dramatic changes in Earth's history. Long before humans built cities or civilizations, these creatures were adapting to shifting climates, changing landscapes, and natural disasters. They endured ice ages, rising seas, and countless environmental transformations. Their continued existence provides scientists with valuable insights into how life survives through periods of extreme change. In many ways, these animals are living witnesses to Earth's distant past.
The human connection. For centuries, local communities living near these forests understood something that science is only beginning to appreciate. Many traditional stories speak of mysterious creatures, hidden valleys, and sacred areas deep within the jungle. While folklore and science follow different paths, both often point toward the same truth. These forests contain wonders beyond ordinary understanding. Modern researchers increasingly recognize the value of indigenous knowledge and local observations, which sometimes guide them toward areas worthy of further investigation. Threats in the shadows. While the jungle appears timeless, powerful threats continue to grow around it. Expanding agriculture, illegal logging, habitat fragmentation, and climate change place increasing pressure on fragile ecosystems. Some species discovered during recent surveys occupy areas so small that even minor disturbances could push them toward extinction. Scientists warn that biodiversity loss is not always dramatic or visible. Sometimes it happens quietly, one species at a time, until an entire ecosystem begins to unravel. The danger is real, even when it remains hidden from public view. The battle to protect paradise. Conservationists, researchers, environmental organizations are now engaged in a race against time. Their mission is simple yet enormously challenging. Protect these forests before their secrets disappear forever. Protected reserves have been expanded in certain regions. Research programs continue to monitor vulnerable species. Educational initiatives encourage local communities to participate in conservation efforts. Every successful protection effort represents a victory not only for Sri Lanka, but for global biodiversity. The battle to preserve paradise has become one of the most important environmental stories of our time.
The final revelation. The discovery of more than 40 unknown species is more than a scientific achievement. It is a reminder that our world remains filled with mysteries. In an era dominated by technology, satellites, and instant information, places like Sri Lanka's rainforests prove that exploration is far from over. Somewhere beneath layers of mist and ancient trees, life continues to evolve beyond human observation. The jungle does not easily surrender its secrets. It reveals them slowly, one discovery at a time. And perhaps that is the most extraordinary lesson of all, that even today, there are still hidden worlds waiting to be found. A treasure beyond gold. Throughout history, explorers crossed oceans searching for gold, spices, and lost kingdoms. Yet the greatest treasure hidden within Sri Lanka's forests is not wealth that can be spent. It is life itself. Every newly discovered species represents millions of years of evolution, adaptation, and survival. These creatures are biological treasures that cannot be replaced once lost. Unlike ancient artifacts or forgotten ruins, extinction offers no second chance. What disappears from nature may be gone forever. The invisible guardians. Many of these species perform critical roles that remain largely invisible to humans. Tiny insects help pollinate plants. Amphibians control populations of disease-carrying pests. Forest organisms recycle nutrients that sustain entire ecosystems. Even the smallest creature can have an impact far greater than its size suggests. Scientists have learned repeatedly that when one species vanishes, unexpected consequences often follow. The jungle survives because countless forms of
Technology meets exploration. Modern explorers no longer rely solely on maps and compasses. Today, scientists use drones, satellite imagery, thermal cameras, and genetic analysis to investigate hidden ecosystems. Environmental DNA, collected from water samples, can reveal the presence of species without researchers ever seeing them directly. These technologies are opening new doors into previously inaccessible regions. Yet, despite these advances, the jungle remains unpredictable. Nature continues to surprise even the most advanced scientific teams. The mystery of evolution. Every newly discovered species raises profound questions. How did it evolve? What environmental pressures shaped its unique features? How long has it remained hidden from science? Some researchers believe certain species may have been isolated for hundreds of thousands or even millions of years. Studying these organisms allows scientists to better understand evolution itself. In a sense, each discovery is a message sent from the distant past, carrying clues about life's remarkable journey across Earth. The next great discovery. History suggests that this is only the beginning. Similar discoveries around the world have shown that remote ecosystems often contain far more biodiversity than initially expected. Scientists working in Sri Lanka increasingly believe that dozens, perhaps even hundreds of unknown species could still remain undiscovered. Hidden caves, isolated mountaintops, and unexplored forest valleys may contain organisms unlike anything currently known. The next great scientific discovery could be waiting just beyond the reach of the latest expedition.
Lessons from the jungle. The rainforest teaches a lesson that humanity often forgets. We like to believe that we understand our world completely. We build cities, launch spacecraft, and develop powerful technologies. Yet a single patch of untouched forest can still challenge our assumptions. The existence of so many undiscovered species reminds us that knowledge has limits. Nature remains larger, deeper, and more mysterious than we often imagine. A legacy for future generations. The decisions made today will determine what future generations inherit tomorrow. Will they encounter thriving forests filled with extraordinary wildlife? Or will they know these species only through photographs and scientific records?
conservation is not simply about protecting animals. It is about preserving wonder, curiosity, and the possibility of future discovery. Every protected forest becomes a gift passed forward through time.
The last unexplored frontiers. When many people imagine exploration, they think of distant planets or the depths of the ocean. Yet some of Earth's greatest frontiers still exist right here on our own world. Hidden beneath layers of mist, surrounded by ancient trees, Sri Lanka's rainforests remain among these frontiers. Every expedition reveals new mysteries. Every discovery opens new questions. And every unanswered question draws scientists deeper into the unknown. The final thought. As night falls across Sri Lanka's ancient jungle, the forest comes alive once more. Invisible creatures move beneath the leaves. Unheard calls echo through the darkness. Streams flow through valleys that have remained unchanged for centuries. Somewhere within this vast wilderness, another undiscovered species may be taking its first breath, completely unknown to science. Its existence reminds us of something extraordinary. Despite all human progress, our planet still holds secrets. And as long as places like these endure, the age of discovery is far from over.